Morning. It's the Pastor Lloyd Morning Show. We up. It's a great morning. We're excited about having you today. So glad to get into our topics. We're talking about getting it done in Jesus' name. So I want you guys to stay tuned. Make sure that you tell somebody we're on. All right, guys. It's the Pastor Lloyd Morning Show. We up. Good morning. We are ready for this week. So glad that all of us are joining in. If you're in, I want you to go ahead and let us know by joining in the chat. I'm gonna wait a couple seconds for folks to go ahead and jump in. Wait a couple seconds for folks to go ahead and jump in. Move my laptop out of the way. Yeah, but great topic for today about getting it done. Um, the funny thing about this topic when we're talking about getting it done is the fact that most of the things that we want out of this life, most of the things that we're trying to accomplish. Good morning, Eric. Um, we already have the ability to get them accomplished, to get them done, right? We already have everything we need within us and through God in order to get things done. But for some reason, it seems as if we can't get it done, right? Um, so this morning, I want y'all to think about for a second. Just think about that thing that you want to see happen. You know, that thing that you want to see get done in your life. I'm not talking about something that's just, oh, if it happens, it happens. If it don't, it don't. I'm talking about that thing that if you don't accomplish this by the time your time comes to die, um, then you feel like it wouldn't be a life well lived. What is that thing that you want to get done? It could be a relationship that you want to mend. It could be a degree that you want to obtain. It could be a ministry that you want to start. It could be a business that you want to see succeed. What is that thing that keeps you up at night? So this morning, I want you to think about that because we've already been given the ability to be able to accomplish it. So why haven't we done it? Why haven't we accomplished that thing yet? And I think honestly, all of us can say that we have the ability to be able to accomplish it. But for some reason or another, we haven't done it. It's almost like, good morning, sir. Good morning. It's almost like that moment, that moment in time, and I don't know if you've ever had it, to where you finally say, I'm fed up with the life I'm living. I'm fed up with not seeing results. I have made the decision that I'm about to go and get this thing done, right? I made up in my mind that no longer am I wearing these same clothes. No longer am I driving the same car. No longer am I living in the same house. No longer am I having these toxic relationships. I made up in my mind that I want to go for what God has allowed me to be able to see. There's a few things that can get in our way. Number one, a lot of us get into a victim mentality to where we wait on somebody else to come and save us. We wait on somebody else to step in and be the hero. Don't be that person, right? Because he said in his word in John chapter 4, verse 4, greater is in you than he that is in the world. In other words, the greatness that you need in order to succeed, in order to make it, in order to push to that next level, God has already put inside of you, correct? God has already positioned you and placed in you something that is not necessarily visible or tangible, um, but you know you have what it takes to get the thing done. Here's the question: will you? I can, I could, I would, I should, but will you? Will you? Will you do the little things each day that will finally allow you to see that which you've been hoping for, that which you've been praying for, that thing that has been eluding you all these years, right? You know how to make a budget. You know how to eat right. Like you can literally you can give people the advice on how to accomplish your dreams. Why haven't and you know you've done it. Somebody bring up a topic and you starting to give them advice even though you haven't accomplished that thing yourself, right? Because you know what it takes, but the question is, are you willing? So it's not outside of your ability. The question is, are you willing? Um, we know how to get the things done. We know how to do what it is and what it takes to be a better son, to be a better daughter, to be a better father, to be a better husband, to be a better you. But are you willing? And we keep saying, I don't have enough time. Don't nobody got time. That's why I don't listen to those excuses. I don't have time. You make time for what's important. And if at the end of your life you can say it didn't really matter that much, then keep putting it off. But if it really matters to you, take today to make the decision. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I cannot go throughout this life and not do it. Now, here's the question for you, and I want y'all to stay with me with this. What's your reasons on why you want it? And I want you to think about this. Think about the people that you're going to affect positively. Think about the loved ones that are going to be affected positively um, by what it is you by accomplishing what it is that you're trying to accomplish. Those people that you're thinking about, are they enough reason for you to get it done? That's my question. Um, Here it is. Eric said, "I don't. I hear that I don't have time excuse all the time. We hear it all the time, but all of us get 24 hours. But for some reason, some of us are able to accomplish things that others are not. Right? Um, and the worst part about the struggle is you know how to get out. There's a story about Portia Nelson. It's an autobiography in 5 chapters. An autobiography in 5 chapters. Check out how it goes. He said, I walked down the street. There's a hole in the sidewalk. I didn't know it was there. I fall in it. I don't know where I am. It's going to take me a while to get out of this, right? Chapter 2, I walk down the same street. There's a hole in the sidewalk. I fall in it. I know where I am. I know how to get out, but I keep going back to the same thing. Chapter 3, I walk down the same street. I see the hole. I fall in it anyway. I realize that I'm in a habit. It's going to take me some time to be able to get out of this. Chapter 4, I walk down the street. I see the hole in the sidewalk. I walk around it. Chapter 5, did I say chapter? That was chapter 4. Chapter 5, I walk down a different street, right? So there has to come a point where you stop falling in the same hole over and over and over again, and we learn how to walk down a different street. The best way to fight the devil is to not get in the ring with him, right? Stop going back to those same habits that we've been going back to over and over and over again and trying to find a different result. What's the definition of insanity? Insanity is to do the same thing over and over again and expect a different result. So I want to share with you our verse for today, right? It's in Second Kings chapter 2. And let me lay the background first. So what happened was Elijah, who was a prophet, he had a group of students with him, and they went into a certain place. One of the kings got mad and sent a bunch of soldiers, and they surrounded the house that Elijah and the students were in, right? And so the students go out and they look outside and they see all these chariots, they see swords. These guys are strapped, right? They are ready to fight. And some of um, what the students are saying are, man, we about to die. You know, all I'm seeing right now is the circumstances I'm in. I'm trying to figure out how do I get out of this. And many of us are in that place right now. You feel like you're surrounded. You feel like things are going down. You feel like there's no hope. Your bills are more than your money. You got more month than you got money, right? It don't even work. It's not even working out on paper. You can't see a way out. You know, you see the light at the end of the tunnel, but maybe that's a train coming in your direction, right? Those points where you feel like you're surrounded. And so in Second Kings chapter 2 and verse 16, this is what Elijah told him. He said, don't be afraid. Those who are with us are more than those who are with them. Now, I need you to see that now because that's very important. Those that are with you are more than those that are against you. Now, I know that it feels like everybody's against you. I know that it feels like, the times are, the rough. We're talking about this inflation. We're talking about the economy. We're talking about all this stuff that is against you. But watch what Elijah says. He says, those who are with you are more than those who are against you. Greater is he that is in you than he that is he that is in the world. And look what Elijah prayed in verse 17. He says, and Elijah prayed, open his eyes, Lord, so that he may see. And then the Lord opened the servant's eyes, which was also, that's a student I'm talking about. He was also a student. And he looked and saw a hills full of horses and chariots of fire all around Elijah. So guess what happened? He looked out again and he didn't just see the chariots that were that were in front of him, right? Yes, they were surrounded by the king's chariots, which was a physical, but behind the king's chariots were God's chariots. Behind the king's chariots were set up spiritual beings that had Elijah and his students and his servants back, right? A lot of us are trying to figure out how we're going to make it. All you see is the chariots. All you see is what's going wrong. All you see is people trying to come after you. But if you really open your eyes, you'll recognize that there's more for you than there is against you. There's more for you than there is against you. And so when it comes to what you're trying to do, get it done today. Don't be fearful saying, I got this against me. I got that against me. Get yourself up, make a plan, right? And let's get it done. And what the servant found out is that he was greater than that which was against him. Cheryl said, you're talking about some hard stuff this morning. And that's right. We want it, Cheryl, right? We want to be able to challenge ourselves and get those things done, right? Now, if you're okay with, where you at, which most of us probably can say no. And I truly believe this. The reason you're still breathing is because God still has a purpose on your life. I remember working as I was a guardian, and y'all probably say, you had a lot of jobs, but yeah, I'm multi-talented, right? But I was a guardian, which means there were people, older elderly people who could not take care of themselves, and I was hired to be pretty much a guardian for them, or they had nobody to visit them, no family, and I was the one who would make sure they were taken care of. Well, I had about 30 people on my client list of people who were left in these nursing homes. Nobody was there taking care of them. And I was supposed to be one person trying to take care of all 30 people. Well, anyway, um, I would go into these places, and a lot of them were so distressed. A lot of them were so disheveled. And it was one lady, nursing home wouldn't even comb her hair. And she was so distraught by the fact that her hair was messed up. Little things like that. Like, we don't realize how much we have until you lose everything you got. I mean, these women, these men, um, some of them wanted to take their lives. Some of them were so depressed. And it's an amazing thing when you want to take your life, but they didn't even have the physical ability to be able to even take their life. Like, they didn't have the ability to move around enough that even if they wanted to do that, they couldn't do it. They were prisoners in their own bodies. But what I came to discover, that even these men and women who were in such a terrible position, they still had a purpose. Anytime that you are still breathing. I remember going into visit one of the ladies, um, and I was supposed to be going in making sure she was all right, but I was going through something myself. And literally, she was able to give me so much encouragement just in the small time that I was with her, that I left out feeling better. You have an opportunity, no matter where you are, to be able to affect somebody's life in a positive manner. And what life is really about is service. Service to other people not only makes you feel better, but also makes you money. Jeff Bezos serves more people in the United States than anybody else through Amazon. And his service allows him to make money. How many people are we serving today? And it's not just about how much money you can make, it's about how many lives am I affecting by what I do? Am I making anybody's life easier today? And so all of us have a purpose. God has a plan for all of us. And the fact that you are still breathing, and you're not even you, and most of the people well, I could probably say everybody who's listening to me today, you're not in that situation where you can't comb your own hair, where you can't bathe yourself. God has given you a purpose today, and it's our job to make sure that we are uh, making life um, as best we can, right? Justin said, I agree, Cheryl. Time and time again, God has come through. It sure is hard to remember that in the midst of trials. Absolutely. I'm going to leave that up for a second, because you think about the amount of financial trials, relationship trials. Some of us have had times we felt like we would get ready to get a divorce, or almost, or did get a divorce. And when you think about these trials, sometimes you feel like you're never going to come out. And the amazing thing is that you will begin to um, get so much into a despair or depression that you're not even able to make the right decisions in order to get yourself out. So you're in it and you need your mind, but you don't have your mind because you're so depressed. You need your mind to get out, but you don't got your mind because you're so depressed. But I came this morning to talk to you. You got to get up and let's get it done. Don't lose your mind because of the one you lost, because you're going to need your mind for the one that's coming. Don't lose your mind for the job you lost, because you're going to need your mind for the job you're getting. Don't lose your mind for the things that you've lost, because you're going to need your mind for what God is going to give you next. And so, yeah, times are hard, right? But if you think about it, millionaires have made the most money during hard times, because they're always um, using those times to shift. In other words, they buy cheap because they know that eventually things are going to turn around. But what we do is we get caught up in all inflation, all gas prices, all grocery prices. Look, I know the food prices is going up, right? But you still eating. You haven't missed a meal. Tell the truth. It was a guy, man, he was so wise. Used to go to church, used to go to our church, and he died now. Older guy, he was like 90 something years old. But he used to always quote this scripture. He said, I was young, now I'm old, but I've never seen the righteous forsaken, nor his children begging for bread. He said, I was young, now I'm old, but I've never seen the righteous forsaken or his seed begging for bread. So God is going to take care of you. I know for a fact he will. I know for a fact that he will. And so all of us have the opportunity today to be able to get up, dust yourself off, and know that he's greater that is within you than he that's in the world. If you know that, go ahead and encourage somebody today. Let them know in the chat you can make it, right? You can make it. You can get there. You can make it to that next level, right? So get it done. Get it done today. And I'm gonna leave you with just this thought, right? You have something inside of you that the world needs to see. You have something that the world here it is, right? Miles Monroe said it this way: the richest place in the entire world is the graveyard, because in it are books that were never written, dreams that were never brought to the forefront, songs that were never written, ideas that were never capitalized on. And I don't want to die done. I want to die finished. I want to die finished. I don't know about you guys. We saw what's his name? What's the guy name that just died? The polarizing guy talks about relationships. Eric, I know you know. um, what's the guy that name? Okay, I gotta know now. He's a YouTuber. YouTuber. Death. Kevin Samuels. Yeah, Kevin Samuels died suddenly. Right, polarizing figure. Right. I mean, he had just did his live on YouTube, millions of followers, millions of subscribers, right? Next day he dead. None of us know the day nor the hour. You don't know when you're gonna die. And maybe that should be a segue that if you don't know him as your personal savior, why not try him? Why not give your life over to Christ? And I always tell people, I know that Jesus lives, but if I'm wrong, you know, there's no consequences. But if you're wrong, there's going to be plenty of consequences. So why not accept Christ as your personal savior today? Because none of us know the day nor the hour that he will come, right? What Eric said. Eric said, I know I've never seen so many folk happy he died. Sad that folks feel that way because you offer different opinions. And the funny thing about it, much of the stuff he said was crazy foolishness, but a lot of that stuff he's saying won't that off. And people don't like the truth. And most of the people who I've seen, Eric, who didn't like him were the people who fell into the categories that he was talking about. But I'm not endorsing him in any way like that, but I'm just saying. So look, let's go get it today. Be a blessing to somebody. Eric said, I woke up this morning ready to give through empowerment. Absolutely. Absolutely. James, his Will Hayes says, my God shall supply according to his riches. Absolutely. You know, it's a great day. It's a great day. I thank you guys for joining in. Don't forget to share this. I see Justin over at YouTube watching. Go to YouTube and watch this, guys, because if you go to YouTube, when we go live, matter of fact, go subscribe so that you can get the notification. because we can reach a lot more people on YouTube than we can Facebook. With Facebook, it's just the people that's friends on mine or have liked the page. But if we go on YouTube, then we can reach the world. So let's try to transition over to YouTube, and I really appreciate it. If you want to support the channel, um, our information is in the description box. If you want to support the channel financially, we always appreciate it. Um, part of me when I first started is like, no, I'm not about to put, my information up there, but it's a lot of hard work that goes into preparing these. And anytime that you add value to somebody, you have to allow them to add value to you. So if you do want to support the channel, you can. If not, I love you anyway. But it's a good day. I will see you guys on tomorrow. Once again, give me some videos, give me some questions of the day. I want you guys to be my producers, right? To help me to make this show a great show, because a lot of things that I may be looking at, may not be what you want to look at. So let's find out what we can do. God bless you. God bless you, Ms. Clayton. Thank you guys for joining in. I will see you tomorrow. It's the Pastor Lord Morning Show. We up. Good morning.